that's fine. So I'm using Exolite, which is a low temperature thermoplastic. It's effectively a cotton that's been woven and then it's dipped into thermoplastic. But it is low temperature, so literally with a 60-degree water bath, it'll become mouldable and I can mould it straight into Colin's arm. It's a really nice material. It's soft enough, but to get the rigidity we want, we're going to put 2 layers together. So while I put the 2 layers in the bath.
Now, I've been asked to say that Colin is a trustee of Porter, and there's actually nothing wrong with his hand, so he's here for demonstration purposes only.
There's nothing wrong at the start.
Elaine, right.
Remember, if you do have any questions, please put your hand up and let me know.
Could we have the lapel mic? We have the lapel mic.
Actually, just roll the material before it goes, so that the 2 layers stick together.
Can I get pastry and jam?
That's a coffee break, Sandra, not just now. I've never used it with this. This is going to stick. That would tell me it's going to stick. I'll get it off later. Ah, didn't stick yesterday. It's a live demo for you. Okay, the easiest thing to do then is to use a template. So work out a shape that you want. We're going to make one of these. I did one yesterday with Julie. Julie's on the stand for Allard. I don't work for Allard, I work for the university. And I've worked with low temperature thermoplastic lots, but never actually this material. So I got it on Monday. Had a play on Tuesday, and by yesterday Julie went, oh, you can do this. So that's how easy it is if you're a clinician and a patient. So we're going to make a wrist hand orthosis. The one thing I should say with low temperature thermoplastic is don't leave it in the back shelf of your car on a sunny day because it'll become flat. Okay, it just needs 60 degrees to go flat. So we just draw the template on. For all those that like Blue Peter as a child, I should have had one made up earlier so that you can see. He's in safe hands. What do you mean?
While Elaine's doing that, would anyone like to ask any questions of Ollie about the prosthetic manufacture?
Does that make the pressure of that? Does that make the thing equal?
Yeah, it evens out the resin thickness. Yeah, when it's not very thin anyway. It's only 6 layers of glass fibre. It's not very thick anyway. It does even out the resin.
Hi, I was just wondering how do you decide what type of prosthetic to give a patient? And there's all different types. So I was just wondering, how do you decide what one's best for what patient?
Well, most prosthetic components will have a guideline to activity level, weight rating, and that sort of thing. So there's a variety of.
Oh, we can use the mic, sorry.
Oh, okay. Is that better? Most prosthetic components have a weight limit. They have an activity rating. They have an activity guide. So depending what patients want to do, depends on what components you select, really. But in the world of prosthetics, as you can probably see just by looking around the room, there's multiple companies, all have a variety of different products, and they're all suited to different patients, really. So basically, as a clinician, you'll probably have a certain few prescription guidelines in your head that you'd stick to. So you know, if a patient wanted to run, what sort of leg you'd give them. If someone just wanted to walk over an uneven terrain, you'd have a better idea of what foot to provide. So it does depend, one, on the patient, and two, what components are available. There's no answer for if someone did this, you would give them that, unfortunately.
So I'm going to edge my orthosis. You can see from the green one it's coming round. But I can reinforce, because you cut, you get a slight sharp edge. So if we just cut strips from one of it and pop it in, then I'm just going to edge my material so it's nice and soft rather than having a sharp edge. I'm kind of in the road on one screen. Oh, go. No pressure. So we'll just edge it. Put the next bit in so I'm not looking.
So if you were making this, somebody would go away with it on the same day?
Yes.
What was that question, Elaine?
Somebody asked if I was making this, would the patient go away with it? Probably within the next 20 minutes.
Anyway.
And while those questions have been going on, Elaine's been busily working away there, so
I
perhaps
didn't want to interrupt.
you
but I've got
can
a mic.
tell us what you've
Yeah,
been
sure.
doing, Elaine.
So
Thanks.
I have been moulding, as you can see, a wrist-hand orthosis. So it's got a little bit what you might call a night splint. Some people wear these for when they've had a stroke, etc., to keep the hand in a good position, or if somebody's got cerebral palsy, or after a burns, for example. And you can see that I've moulded the shape quite nicely. Wasn't too warm, Colin?
No.
Okay. And it's just going rigid now. And I can just take it off. And effectively, I can also add Velcro strapping. There's a little bit of heat gun, so I can strapping and it effectively is finished. Other things you can do, there's another material slightly newer called Sea Light, which is kind of got fabric. And you can see, I made these yesterday. So we made a little wrist hand orthosis and also had a play and a thumb orthosis, should you have a problem with your thumb, to keep it out, etc. In fact, one of my postgraduate students yesterday was saying, could I make one tomorrow? I've got any material left. So, because she's fallen and hurt her thumb. So you can see something that simple is really quite quick to make. I'll just take this off.
I just have to take this off now.
Yep. Ollie, do you want the mic?
Yeah.
Maybe the handheld mic as well.
So Elaine's been busy again making a thumb spiker, and it's really quite a difficult procedure. Well, it's actually very easy when you've had practice, but I wouldn't like to do it in front of a room full of people because it's quite tricky. So I think that's an excellent job. So.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Yeah. Excuse me.
This material is it available for legs, did you say?
Sure.
You asked if it was available for legs.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it gets used in some places for fracture braces.
Yes.
So you can actually make a fracture brace. Obviously, the great thing about an orthosis is you can take it off and have a wash and put it back on again. So it is used for legs. Julie can tell us more. Not routinely used for ankle foot orthosis because you'd be walking on it long term, and it's partly because it's heat moldable.
I'm finding that perhaps now I'm needing to wear something in bed at night, something lightweight like that. It might work.
Yes, it'd be very good for a night splint. Exactly.
Exactly, because I've no support, that is a big problem.
Yes, no, it'd be good for a night splint,
Okay.
and also it's good for, say, somebody's got burns or they've had a flexion injury. Do you know the people that fall and do their tendons? Because you can actually come back the following week and we can remold it up rather than having a whole new device.
Exactly.
So the same thing can happen with your ankle.
Sounds
for a
good.
night
And how
splint.
easily available is that though?
Fairly easily available. We worked out, I think this splint costs about £8, £10, and the other one is much cheaper. So the materials there, it's called a low temperature thermoplastic.
And should I be able to access that then?
You could ask for it. Certainly you can't. I would suggest if you're wearing it at night, don't have an electric blanket on.
Oh, no, I don't.
It'll be flat by the morning. Just a thought. Or a hot water bottle or something. It'll mould to the hot water bottle.
It just seems an ideal solution to that problem for me.
It's just a little bit prickly inside. Would you have that normally lined?
Yes, you can line it if you want. If the more you roll it, I didn't spend long rolling it because we had 10 minutes. So the more you roll it, the more it'll flatten. So we can actually roll it a little bit more. And the idea being it's aerated. So with the two layers, you can actually put them together. So you've got more air. Or if you want to make it slightly stronger, you kind of mismatch them so that you get a little bit more strength. So there's different options.
Okay, I'd like to thank both presenters for a wonderful presentation.